You're on time to talk sports with Raw Mind. Game day, who plays with updates of all kinds. From press spots to sideline. Who got cut, who got signed. Who's clutch when it's crunch time. The starting lineup or the pine. These athletes compete some without even trying. You want a championship, you gotta grind. When them bright lights shine, and this game go 9, they gon' cover the story, not quite like Ryan. Exclusive interviews, dudes plug like Mike Line. He's got the inside scoop of why, who got fined. Prime time, got the game statistics. I could say, if you wasn't at the game, you missed it. But now Raw Mind Sports covers the distance. Front row, that's close like a coach's assistant. You wanna be in the know? Eyes open and listen. This is Raw Mind Sports, another edition.
Another edition of the Ryan Jones Show, formerly known as Raw Mind Sports. I'm your host, Ryan Jones, and let me tell you, I got to make it quick because it's some games that happen. The 252 of the North Carolina High School Association has completely dominated this entire tournament. And we're going to get into a few teams right away. So first and foremost, let us start with, I want to start here first. I want to get the show started off of this. If a lot of people don't like the 8 classifications, I actually like it because you're being able to give exposure to teams who haven't had a chance in the 4A bracket. Like, it's a big pun when you have 4 classifications. Yeah, I get it. Everybody will say they don't have that many people in these schools that have an 8A, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. But I think it helps to see other schools or other, no matter the classifications, in games that they would never be in. It gives exposure to college recruiters, to schools, special attention to more media companies, media outlets. You'll be able to see schools they probably didn't even think about like covering. You know, now you're seeing teams that really have like real opportunity to get to state championship. I think the 8 classifications help compared to the 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. Because I'm going to tell you now, let's be raw thoughts. This 8 classification thing, if it wasn't here, it'll be a lot of teams we would not see at all in the 4 classifications. You have that 1/3 view of people that you will see. But then you have the other people who have great talent, maybe just in a tough situation of wins and losses, wherever they are in the state of North Carolina. But now you get the 8 classifications, you get to see a kid, a diamond in the rough, that can make it to the state championship, go further in the playoffs. Like, oh, this is a kid that we've been missing. We didn't know about this kid, or we didn't know about that kid, that student athlete. Now you have that opportunity to see that in 8 classifications. So I like that. Now, to my next topic. I ain't gonna hold you long, but Ryan Jones Senior Show is here. Northern Nash wins its first state championships in 1968. Let me tell you something. That was a great game overall. I'm 252, lo and behold. You know, and then it's layers of 252. Then you got to pick your certain schools, whoever you rock with. But 252 overall, I'm just excited for anybody in the 252 that actually dominated the state championship games thus far. The thing that impressed me was how Northern still stayed the course. Like literally stayed the course and still find a way to get the dub at the end of the game. Through all the up and down runs, through all the changing the possessions, the changing of scores. I was seeing one play. I think I seen one play like a sideline play, and the big man kept getting wide open on the sideline play. But that was a way that I think they ended up making adjustments to that. The thing that really intrigued me was I will give Kings Mountain something. Okay. They were better than what I thought they were going to be. I thought Northern was going to completely dominate this game. Just transparent. I just thought they were going to dominate. The thing that intrigued me was the big man for Kings Mountain, and I apologize. I'm going to have to get my studio guy to give me the guy's name in a minute for Kings Mountain. I'm going to let him pull it up. You don't see him, but I got a studio guy. This we got. So Raw Mind Sports, we got a studio guy to give me the name. I want to make sure I get the guy's name correct. I don't want to just say his name. So, he literally was not scared of Chris Silver. Has he not watched this kid Silver play all season? He throws everything out, even the garbage in your own neighbor house, out the door. He does that too. He is one of the premier shot blockers I have ever in this era that I've seen, who really don't get a lot of fouls. He don't draw fouls. He knows how to play straight up and shot block. But this big man just kept constantly going at him. Which, of course, any coach logically would tell their player, don't be scared of nobody. So I get why he was going at him. He don't want him to feel like he's feared, that the player for Kings Mountain wasn't feared. So, and we still getting his name in a minute because I ended up didn't do my notes on that. That's Raw Thoughts. One thing about Raw Thoughts, I did forget that part. So, hold on a second. Makai Daniel. Yeah, his name was on Makai Daniel. Makai Daniel was the guy that was like, he wasn't afraid of Chris Silver. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Chris Silver still did what he had to do. But to still go at the guy, you would think the game plan, you would see Chris Silver, knowing he's a top-tier shot blocker, and you're going at him, you would think you would stay away from that. This kid kept completely going at him. The outcome didn't come well. I knew Chris Silver once he got down there, he seen this guy coming out there, he was going to find a way to still make great blocks, complete blocks. He's been a go-to guy for Northern all season. So shout out to him and the Barnes kid. Like that team, they made plays when they needed to make them. And I see a promising future. A lot of people didn't think this team would be here without CJ Rosser not being here anymore. Probably top 2 ESPN at his position in the country. And you lose a player like that, people probably assume that, they're not going to be there. No, this team overachieved and defied the odds. And sometimes you just got to give respect to that. And I think that's the ability of Northern Nash. Northern Nash has some players come back next season. We'll see if they get back next year. But honestly, great coach staff. Sprague, Motor Loach is a legend there. I ain't going to take that for Sprague either because he's a legend too. I don't want to feel bad. I want to get some more. Raw thoughts. But it was good for Northern, to see this. And sometimes you just got to tell it like it is and just be happy for what the moment is. Although they did bash my boy TJ, by the way, he'll be back on the show probably next week. And he's going to probably give his raw thoughts on this game too. He took a lot of heat last week. But my boy, he said what he said. That's all I got to say. All right. Vance Charter, Gary Wilkins leads him to the championship victory. Man, this big man was dominant the entire postseason. Completely, total domination. Got it his way. He was going to get you out the way, and he was going to get things done. He was just that good. He was just total dominance on that. I ain't going to hold you long on that, but he was total dominant. Kinston wins another state championship. See, this is the people down in Kinston are probably very excited because they went to state championship in football, although they didn't come out the way they wanted, and they went to state championship. That's why I talk about the 8 classifications, kind of help a little bit. Kinston, for years, was always a powerhouse, always getting state championships, year in, year out. This team is different. Every state championship is different for whatever particular crew or crowd they have, but I seen this team. This team just had dogs. They were aggressive on the defensive end. They were very aggressive, and they attacked the basket. And, they don't back down. They one of them teams that they come out fighting. Certain teams have the skill set. Certain teams have great athletes. Certain teams just have a team of fundamentals. These guys, this Kinston team was made of a lot of heart. Not in heart with talent and fundamentals. But the heart, they just had that. You could just look at them and watch them like, this is just it. This is it. This is it. Shout out to Kinston. Congratulations to the title. Now, I want to dive into this right here. The Wilson Prep girls, I'm sorry about that. The Wilson Prep girls win their first state championship. The school hasn't been around long, but it's still good. But nobody's talking about this. This team could repeat next season. They won this season. They're young. I looked at their entire roster, and majority of their team is coming back unless they got the wrong classification or year beside their names. This is a repeat. It's going to be tough to beat them next year. You ain't beat them this year. It's going to really be tough to beat them next year. They may say one of their players may be gone, but that is a young team. They got a couple of juniors, sophomore, freshmen. Most were sophomores and freshmen. This team will probably be back, without a doubt. Great way to win the state championship for the girls. Their boys are used to winning state championships, but Wilson Prep girls, I'm letting you know. It looks like at the moment for this era, the next 2 years, maybe 3, the Wilson Prep girls will be the way to the state championship. You got to get through them to get the state championship girls team. Shout out to Halifax Academy for their victory. I don't know too much about them, raw thoughts, but I just appreciate like them getting it. They're a 2-5-2 team. They're dominant. They played well. They did what they had to do to get the win. Shout out to them. It was just a dominant postseason thus far. Looking at all these 2-5-2 teams, I'm letting there's a lot of talent in 2-5-2. That's why I like the 8 classifications, because now you get to see how good the 2-5-2 is compared to just 4 classifications. And the top of the top gets there, but now you get to see like other talent that you haven't seen before. It gives people opportunity to see some more exposure. I love it. I love this classification. A lot of people don't, but hey, that's your opinion. Raw mind, raw thoughts. I give mine. All right, so the game that we're all waiting for, the last 2-5-2 game, is Wilson Fight versus Huss. Huss had Mr. Basketball candidate in Jaleel, and Fight has been playing great basketball the entire season. Great coach, great staff. My boy TJ Harrell made a joke the other day talking about the money line, the fight, and I think this Jaleel kid is taking it personal. I think he's taking it very personal. But for me, I expect a good game. I expect these two teams to go at it. I expect both teams to really go at it. And I'm talking about, I think since that last podcast that we done with me and my boy TJ Harrell, Big Beloved Harrell, I think both teams are going to take it personal. Not just personal to win the state championship, but nobody wants to look bad in this game. And Mr. Basketball just lost the Mr. Basketball award. But I'm going to tell you now, this fight team, it's a fighting team. Wilson Fight is a fighting team. I do understand the concept of the Huss team having like a sophomore that can get a bucket from anywhere. I'm just excited to see the game overall. I'm just excited to see this game overall. I'm 2-5-2, so of course I'm gonna say 2-5-2. But at the same time, this Jaleel kid is tough, and I need people to know this ain't about right or wrong, who's not. I'm gonna be raw thoughts, very unbiased, but I'm just here to tell you that kid is tough. But I know that coaching staff of Fight knows that more than me. So I'm quite sure they've been in the film room studying him left to right, and the entire team. So, 2-5-2 got one more game to win, people. 2-5-2 got one more game to win. And let's see who wins. May the best team win. With that being said, those are my raw thoughts from the Ryan Jones Senior Show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It still says Raw Mind Sports, but you probably see my name, Ryan Jones Senior, up there. And the Raw Mind Sports Network is underway. Multiple shows, multiple content shows to be able to see. Feel free to reach out. What we need to do to help you blossom your show, to bring your vision to light. That's all I got. I'm excited. Fighting Huss is the last 2-5-2 team. But, man, this state championship this season, basketball has been well worth all people's money, whether you had to travel to Winston-Salem back and forth or not. With that being said, this is Ryan Jones. Raw Mind, Raw Thoughts is out.